Princess Anne was exempted from gender testing when she competed in Olympics Games 1976. The Princess Royal competed in team equestrian eventing at the 1976 Montreal Games in the three-day eventing competition, with her family traveling to the Games in Montreal to cheer her on. Princess Anne inherited her mother's love of horses at a young age and turned her passion into a successful sporting career. She began competing in equestrian competitions aged just 11 and went to take part in many of the sport's most prestigious tournaments. In 1971, she won the European Eventing Championships and was named the BBC's Sports Personality of the Year. And in 1976, she made history by becoming the first British royal to compete at the Olympics in three-day eventing, where she rode the Queen's horse, At Will. Many of her family members flew to the Games in the Canadian city of Montreal to support her, but the British team were unable to win any medals that year. Princess Anne made history in 1976 as the first British royal to compete in the Olympics. At the time, according to unknown source, the Princess Royal was excused from the so-called gender testing other female athletes were mandated to undergo when she competed in the 1976 Montreal Games. More details were not provided around the circumstances of how or why Anne, who was a competitor on a mixed-sex equestrian team, was exempted. Gender testing was first introduced ahead of the 1968 Games in Mexico City, then deemed unnecessary in the early 1990s and suspended by the International Olympic Committee before the Sydney Olympics in 2000. The conversation around female athletes' abilities in regard to their gender has been fraught in the last several years, with two-time Olympic gold medalist Caster Semenya being barred from the 2020 Tokyo Games for having naturally higher testosterone levels than the other women against whom she was racing. It's an ongoing conversation in which rulings vary from sport to sport, with New Zealand weightlifter Laurel Hubbard becoming the first openly transgender Olympic athlete. For her part, Princess Anne had been an accomplished equestrian since age 11. She competed in the European Championships twice, winning an individual gold in 1971 and a silver in the same event 4 years later, as well as a silver medal in team competition in 1975. The next year, she joined Team GB in the three-day equestrian eventing competition at the Montreal Olympics, riding on Queen Elizabeth's horse At Will. Anne's quest for the podium was disrupted when she suffered a concussion in the midst of a course, though she did recover and complete her run. Ultimately, Great Britain did not take home a medal in Anne's chosen sport. Anne, 70, remains a member of the International Olympic Committee today and serves as president of the British Olympic Association. Though she did not attend this year's Games in Tokyo, she released a video on July 19 via the official royal family account wishing Great Britain's Olympic athletes every success. "I do remember from my own Olympic journey, the anticipation and excitement of stepping onto the Olympic stage," she said. "I know that you have all worked incredibly hard for this moment, during the most challenging of times. This is your Olympics. Savor it, and above all, enjoy it." Princess Anne has a special connection with the Summer Olympic Games. In the 1976 Montreal Olympics, the Princess Royal became the first member of the British royal family to compete in the Games, when she rode in the equestrian three-day event. Anne entered on Queen Elizabeth's horse, At Will, and though she did not take home a medal, she fostered a lifelong bond with the international sporting event. Now, Anne is sharing her own well wishes for this year's team. The Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games begins in Japan and runs through August 8. The Princess Royal is now president of the British Olympic Association and Team Great Britain, a job she's held since 1983. She has also been a member of the International Olympic Committee since 1988. It is in these roles that Anne sent a message of luck and support to this year's British Summer Olympic team.